In this video, I'll explain why smart Florida business owners use holding companies. By the end of this video, you will learn how to protect your assets, reduce your tax burden, and structure your business empire like the wealthy do. I'm Santiago Cueto, board certified international business law expert and best-selling author based right here in Miami, Florida. I've helped hundreds of Florida entrepreneurs protect their wealth using this exact strategy. Now, imagine for a moment that you've built a successful business in Florida. Maybe you own rental properties, maybe you run multiple companies. Everything is going great until one lawsuit threatens to take it all away. Let me tell you about a client I'll call Maria. She owned 3 successful restaurants in South Florida. She worked 80 hours a week. She built everything from scratch. Then a customer slipped and fell at one location. The lawsuit didn't just target that restaurant, it threatened all 3 of her businesses. Maria learned a painful lesson. Your business structure determines your financial future. Most business owners make a critical mistake. They put all their assets in one basket. One operating company owns everything: the restaurant, the equipment, the real estate, the vehicles. This is like building a house of cards. One strong wind and everything collapses. Here's what a holding company does differently. Think of it as a corporate umbrella. The holding company sits at the top. It owns your operating businesses. It holds valuable assets, but it doesn't do the risky day-to-day operations. Your operating companies do the actual business. They serve customers, they sign contracts, and they take on liability. So why does this matter in Florida? Well, you see, Florida has specific laws that make holding companies incredibly powerful. Let me break this down. First, let's talk about asset protection. Imagine you own a landscaping company. You also own the expensive equipment, trucks, mowers, trailers. If someone sues your landscaping company, they can potentially seize your equipment. Game over. But what if a separate holding company owned that equipment? The holding company leases the equipment to your operating business. Now, a lawsuit against your landscaping company can't touch those assets. They belong to a different legal entity. This strategy gets even more powerful with real estate. Many Florida business owners own the building where they operate. Bad idea. If your restaurant gets sued, the plaintiff can go after the building. You could lose everything. Smart owners create a holding company that owns the real estate. The operating company pays rent to the holding company. The lawsuit stays contained in the operating company. Your valuable real estate stays protected. Second, holding companies create liability firewalls. Let's say you own 3 businesses: a gym, a smoothie bar, and a supplement store. Without a holding company, these businesses might be interconnected. A problem at the gym could threaten your other ventures. But if a holding company owns all 3 as separate LLCs, each business stands alone. The gym gets sued, the smoothie bar and supplement store chain remain completely untouched. Each operating company is its own island. Now, if you're finding this valuable, hit that like button right now and subscribe to my channel for more strategies that protect Florida business owners just like you. Now, let's talk about tax advantages. This is where holding companies really shine. Florida already has no state income tax. That's a huge advantage. But holding companies let you maximize this benefit even further. Here's how. When you have multiple businesses, you can shift income strategically. Your operating company pays management fees to the holding company. They pay rent, they pay licensing fees for intellectual property. This isn't tax evasion, it's smart tax planning. The income flows from high-risk operation entities to your low-risk holding company. You're moving money from dangerous waters to safe harbors. And here's another thing. Holding companies also make estate planning simpler. Let's say you want to pass your business to your children. Without a holding company, you're transferring multiple businesses, multiple tax events, and multiple complications. But with a holding company, you own one entity that controls everything else. You transfer shares of the holding company. One transaction, cleaner, more efficient, less expensive. And there's another advantage that nobody talks about: business financing. Banks and investors love clean corporate structures. When you approach a lender with a holding company structure, you look professional. You look sophisticated. You look like someone who knows what they're doing. Compare that to business owners who have everything jumbled together in one entity. Who would you rather lend money to? Here's another thing. Holding companies also make it easier to bring in partners or investors. Let's say someone wants to invest in your gym, but not your smoothie bar. Well, with a holding company structure, they can buy just into the gym entity. You maintain control through the holding company. They get their investment opportunity, and everybody wins. And here's what most people don't realize: the wealthy have been using this strategy for decades. Go look at any major corporation. They all use holding company structures. Berkshire Hathaway is a holding company. Disney is also structured this way. They do this for a reason: because it works. But you don't need to be a billionaire to benefit. Any Florida business owner with multiple income streams should consider this structure. You own rental properties and a consulting business? Holding company. You have an online store and a brick and mortar location? Holding company. You're building a business empire? Definitely a holding company. Let me address the common concerns. Yes, there are costs involved. You need to set up multiple entities, you need to maintain proper corporate formalities, and you need good corporate record keeping. But these costs are investments. They're insurance policies. Would you rather pay a few $1,000s in setup costs or lose everything in a lawsuit? The key is doing it right. You can't just create entities and ignore them. You need proper operating agreements. You need to maintain separate bank accounts. You need to document transactions between these entities, and you need to file separate tax returns. Shortcuts will destroy your asset protection. Courts can pierce the corporate veil if you treat these entities like they don't exist. Remember Maria from the beginning? After that lawsuit, she restructured everything. She created a holding company. She separated her real estate into its own LLC. Each restaurant became its own operating entity. And when another incident happened at one location 2 years later, the lawsuit couldn't touch her other businesses. She protected her empire. And that's the power of proper business structuring. Holding companies aren't just for the ultra wealthy. They're for any Florida business owner who's serious about protecting what they've built. You've worked too hard. You've sacrificed too much. Don't let one lawsuit or one bad day destroy everything. The best time to set up a holding company was yesterday. The second time is today. Before the lawsuit, before the accident, before the problem. If this video helped you understand why smart Florida business owners use holding companies, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for more strategies that protect and grow your Florida business. I'm Santiago Cueto, your Florida business attorney. Be sure to watch more of my videos right here.